It's been about a year since I've used my generator. If you've looked at my other videos, you've seen that I stored it right there underneath my desk. And so we're expecting a big storm tonight. So I decided just to test the generator, make sure it all works. I got out a couple of propane bottles and I hooked up the battery here to the generator and put in the key. So now I'm just going to hook up the propane. Essentially what you do is you just screw the nozzle on. And sometimes with this model, I believe I may have mentioned in my other videos, you need to turn this on slowly because there's a check valve in this, I think, that that if the propane comes out too quickly, it'll shut off and it won't run. So you just turn it slowly and listen for the propane going through the hose, or you can actually watch the hose vibrate. See if we can hear it. Okay, I don't hear anything. You do it slowly, so it should be fine. Next, well, you can pull it on the choke, which is right here. Press the purge button for a few seconds, and let's see if she runs. So there you have it. She runs. I didn't want to run her too long at all because I am in the garage. I have the side door open, and when I do run it, I won't be running it inside here. I'll just open up the big door there and stick it outside. So there you have it. Light up for 1 year. Starts within, I know, a few seconds of turning the key. So, it was only last weekend when we finished having the huge blackouts here in Newfoundland. It was like minus 35 with the wind chill factor, and there were blackouts all over the province because surprisingly everybody was using electricity to heat their homes, and there wasn't enough to generate enough generating power by our utility, and it blew a couple of generators. And anyway, for one, I guess, time period we had power without 7 hours, and then there was another with 13 hours without power, and then there were rolling blackouts of anywhere between an hour and a half. Needless to say, my generator did get a good use to help keep the house warm, as well as run some I guess utilities inside the house. However, one thing that I noticed when using the generator in such cold temperatures is that the propane would actually freeze. You can see my tanks back there. Well, what happened was that it would get through maybe quarter of a tank, if not half, and the generator would shut off. I pick up the tank and I give it a shake, and you'd hear crystals inside of it. So what was happening with the cold temperatures, the propane was freezing and it wasn't running. Now, I didn't have this trouble when I was using it, say, in the fall. When it was warm, it would run a full tank dry. But with the cold temperatures, that changed things. So what I did is that after we got some electricity back, I built a box for the propane cylinders. So it was just a cardboard box, and I lined it with some polystyrene, 1-inch polystyrene, around 3 of the sides, because those are scraps that I had. Then I had some bubble wrap, which is reflective as well. So that should keep any heat in and any cold out. A hole in through the side to run to the tank. Right down there, as you can see, I have a hole. And what I have there is I just have the box cut, and I have a small space heater, forced air space heater. This is, I think, a 750 watt. So what I'll do is, if we ever get into a a cold condition again, I will plug this in and keep it probably this distance, which is maybe 8 to 10 inches away from the box, and have warm air blow in on the cylinder just to keep it from freezing. Now again, I won't be able to do this at startup because there'll be no electricity. But once I start up the generator, there will be electricity, and it just means we'll be able to use less inside the house. This will hopefully keep the propane from freezing. So that's about the only problem I had with using these propane, say, barbecue tanks. Now there may be, I guess, the proper way of doing it, getting proper tanks and insulating the tanks in a proper manner, but I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. So this is my method of trying to keep the propane from freezing. But other than that, it started well, it ran well. We tripped it out a couple of times because we had too many appliances on, but that was no big deal. I just come back in and, you know, reset the breaker, and she was good to go. So that's it. That's an update on my all-power 6,000 watt generator. Thanks for watching.